Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting, I think. Private equity careers.
Absolutely.
We've got this excerpt here. It breaks down all the different roles
Right.
that you find at these private equity firms. I think this is going to be, for anybody who's ever wondered what goes on, what it's like to work there,
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
this is going to sort of demystify the whole thing.
Yeah, it is. And it's a complex world. Like, it's not just one job.
Right.
There are so many different pieces of this puzzle that fit together.
Yeah.
To make the machine run, basically.
So let's start at the very beginning.
Yeah.
If you were just getting started in private equity,
Yeah.
where would you even begin?
Well, a lot of people, I think, they start out as this position called an analyst.
Okay.
And it's, a lot of people think of it as like the entry level, kind of the grunt work position.
Right.
But it's also so important to the private equity firm because it's really the foundation for everything.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are doing all the digging into the financials, building those models, those spreadsheets that everybody thinks about when they think about, finance and all that.
Sure.
But, they also put together these things called investment memos.
Okay.
Which are basically like reports, right, that summarize everything about a business and the strengths and weaknesses and the potential for growth, and basically try to tell a story, right, to convince the higher ups that this company is worth investing in, millions, even billions of dollars.
Wow.
So, it's a very
it's like a pitch.
It is, yeah.
But backed up with all the data.
Exactly.
Oh,
So, it's a very important role, even though it can be a lot of grunt work. Yeah.
That makes sense. So, okay, so you've paid your dues as an analyst.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there?
So from analyst, I think a lot of people, the next step is associate.
Okay.
And that's where you start to see more responsibility, I think.
Yeah.
More leadership opportunities. And you start to interact more with what we call portfolio companies, which are the companies that the firm has already invested in.
Okay, so wait, so can you explain that? Because I think that's kind of where...
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I think maybe some listeners are like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, no, I think, people think of private equity as just like buying and selling companies.
Right.
But it's not just that. It's also about actively working with these companies to help them grow and improve. So, it's...
So they're kind of like, almost like consultants.
A little bit like consultants, yeah. They're on the board of these companies. They're providing guidance and support and...
So the private equity firm's actually helping these companies.
Exactly.
And
I want them to succeed, right?
At some point, yeah.
Because
I'm the line.
If they don't succeed, they don't make money, so...
Makes sense.
It's kind of like... Yeah, it's kind of like a coach and a team, right?
Oh,
You're working together to make sure that they win the championship, basically.
Got it. Okay, so the associate is, it's more involved in helping these companies
more hands-on,
succeed, and then so from associate, then it goes to VP.
That's right. So the VP role is a lot of deal making at this point.
Okay.
They're really leading the charge on that, and a lot more strategy involved as well.
Okay.
They're the ones making recommendations to the partners and the managing directors on which companies to invest in.
Oh, wow.
So they're,
So they really have a big impact.
Yeah.
That the company does.
They're kind of like, they're shaping the direction of the firm, basically.
Okay. And then so VP, but then there's this one title that's always kind of confused me.
Right.
It's principal.
Principal, yeah.
I mean, in school there's a principal, but in private equity,
it's a little different.
It's different.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
So, I think of principal as like, the kind of the master deal maker.
Okay.
They are the ones that are sourcing the new opportunities. So they're out there meeting with companies, going to conferences, networking, trying to find the next diamond in the rough, basically.
So they're like deal scouts.
Yeah, deal scouts, exactly.
Okay.
And they're also usually involved in the early stages of the due diligence process, which is like, the deep dive into the company's financials and all that.
So they're doing a lot of the legwork.
They're doing a lot of the upfront work.
Okay, got it. And then, so now we're to the top, right?
Yep.
Partner, managing director.
This is it, the top of the food chain.
That's where, that's where everybody wants to be, right?
Well, yeah,
Eventually. I mean, maybe not everybody.
Maybe not everybody.
But a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So these are the leaders of the firm.
Yeah.
They set the overall investment strategy. They make the final calls.
Oh, wow.
On which deals to pursue, which deals to pass on.
Right.
And they also manage investor relationships.
Oh, right, because the firm needs money to
invest. You have money to make money, right?
Exactly. So
they're the ones out there raising money.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of time talking to, wealthy individuals, institutions, pension funds, endowments.
Wow.
Convincing them to give them their money.
That's a hard job.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
You have to really believe in what you're doing.
I bet. But then there's this whole supporting cast too, right?
Oh yeah. There's a whole team behind the scenes.
It's not just the partners.
No, not at all.
Making all this happen. So you've got operating partners who are people who come in with specific industry expertise.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they used to run a big company, or they have a lot of experience in a certain sector.
Okay.
And they come in and they help the portfolio companies with things like, technology, operations, marketing.
So they're kind of like specialized.
Or specialists.
Consultants almost. Okay.
Exactly. And then you have investor relations folks who are the ones who kind of communicate
Cool.
with all the investors,
Right.
keep them up to speed on how the firm is doing. And then, of course, lawyers, CFOs, the whole shebang.
Okay. So there's
It takes a village.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely.
That's really interesting. So, I think one thing that's really cool is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a straight line on the ladder, right?
No, not at all. In fact, a lot of times people
You could sort of move around, try different things.
they want to get experience in different parts of the firm.
Okay.
Or maybe they want to specialize in a certain industry. Maybe they're really passionate about healthcare.
Right.
And they want to focus on healthcare investments. So
Interesting.
there's a lot of different paths you can take.
Wow. So that's a pretty good overview, I think,
Yeah, I think so.
of all the different roles
The world of private equity.
that you would find at a private equity firm. So I guess the big question is, if you were going to go into private equity, what role would you want? Would you want to be the analyst crunching the numbers, building the models? Would you want to be the associate working hands-on with those portfolio companies? Would you want to be the VP, making those big strategic decisions? Would you be the principal, the scout, out there finding those deals? Or would you be the partner at the top, kind of running the whole show? And then I guess the other question is, what kinds of companies would you want to invest in? It's a big world out there.
It is a big world.
There's a lot of different industries, a lot of different companies.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting industry to think about. So if you're interested in private equity, keep learning, keep exploring, do your research, and who knows, maybe someday you'll be running one of these firms.
Maybe.
All right, that's it for our deep dive today. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.